Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Good evening. Welcome to Vernon Vibes. It's good to be with you again. As always, I enjoy the opportunity to speak with you, and we have several issues that I'd like to talk about this evening before our program's over. But before I do that, as I'm sure at this point in time many of you know, but some of you may not know, Vernon Township lost one of its greatest entrepreneurs since the last taping of Vernon Vibes. Mr. Gene Mulvihill passed away unexpectedly. Gene Mulvihill and I had been friends for almost 30 years. We did a tremendous amount of business together, and while I know that at times there were people who would label him as controversial, I saw him as someone with a dream who worked every single day to accomplish those goals, and I believe that Vernon Township will be a lesser place now that Gene has passed. When I think about the 30 years that I've lived in Vernon, my children, and I'm sure many of yours, worked at Action Park or at Vernon Valley or Great Gorge. In addition, many of us as adults worked there. Being our largest employer, our largest taxpayer, and our largest industry says a lot about what Mr. Mulvihill's dream was and how he executed it. So I'd like to extend my personal condolences to his family and loved ones, and I sure hope that Gene is up there smiling and thinking about us, because I know I'm thinking about him. I know as we go forward, there are still many serious issues between Mountain Creek and Vernon Township, and Gene's son, Andy, has been elected president of the corporation. I look forward to working with Andy to continue the kind of cooperation and progress that we have made, and hopefully to be sure that our resort recreation industry flourishes in Vernon Township. So in closing, Mrs. Mulvihill, my deepest condolences. To Gene's children, the same, and to his friends. I know that you miss him, as do I.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve. Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.
We all have gone through a very, very trying time in Vernon Township this past week. While we did not suffer the kind of devastation that our neighbors to the south along the shore and in New York City and Staten Island suffered, the high winds of Sandy took out almost 6,000 homes, took out the electricity to almost 6,000 homes in Vernon Township. I want to say publicly, thank you to the Sussex Rural Electric Co-op. Those gentlemen had their customers back online within 36 to 48 hours, from the end of the storm. As a matter of fact, on the Monday night that the storm hit, there were line crew trucks from South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida already in Vernon, in the parking lot at the Appalachian, and their linemen were housed at the Appalachian Hotel, waiting for the storm to end. And as soon as it did, Sussex Rural went to work. I don't need to tell the people who have Sussex Rural Electric how fortunate you are. On the other hand, the real sad situation in this township lies at the feet of JCP&L. As of this morning, many of our people are back online. I don't have the exact number for today yet. I will. But I can tell you that I've been on the phone with JCP&L at every opportunity that I have had. And frankly, I wonder whether or not the right hand knows what the left hand's doing down there. It is absolutely unacceptable that I get told things like, you know, we're doing a great job. We had 2 million people without power, and now it's down to 700,000. Gentlemen at JCP&L, here's my message to you. My residents don't care about how good you're doing somewhere else. They pay their bill timely, and you have a responsibility to see to it that our people are serviced and that our power is restored. If you can't handle the job, take the offer from Sussex Rural Electric and let them buy you out. Because I can tell you in no uncertain terms, Vernon Township is about to raise its voice, and we are going to be before the BPU, and I'm telling you straight out, we're not going to take another year of your excuses. We're not going to take another year of your cavalier attitude. When our residents call and are told, we'll get there when we get there, we're out of wire, we can't do anything for you now, we're working 24/7, but we can't tell you when you'll have power, that's not acceptable. And I can tell you that I have fielded literally hundreds of phone calls and emails from my residents who have been uncomfortable, who have been inconvenienced, and in some cases, whose lives have been threatened. I know for a fact that people in my community with medical emergencies who called your company were told basically, too bad. Well, we know what the law is, and I assure you that everything that happened during this storm has been cataloged by Vernon Township, and when we go to the BPU with our petitions in hand, asking to have you removed from this town and to have the BPU force you to accept Sussex Rural Electric's offer to buy you out, you'll know exactly why. All of us from Vernon have this message for you. Get out of town.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
It's good to be back. Today actually is November the 7th, and normally we would tape this meeting right after a council meeting, but as all of you know, the council meeting this week is scheduled for Thursday night. There are a few things on the agenda that we'll be discussing Thursday night, and I'd like to just take a minute to tell you about them. First of all, Vernon Township has been selected by the New Jersey DEP to receive its Community Recycling Award for 2012. It's quite a prestigious award, and it relates, frankly, to the improvements that have been made by our DPW when the decision was made, in fact, to bring our recycling in-house and to stop paying an outside purveyor to take our recycling. The actual numbers look like this. We have increased our tonnage of recycling in the last 12 months by 38%, the highest percentage increase of any community in the state of New Jersey during that time frame. And I'm sure that led to the decision by DEP to recognize our effort. But more importantly, we have in fact turned a cost item, approximately $80,000 a year that was paid to the contractor to handle our recycling, into a profit. And in the last 12 months, we have in fact recouped from the recycling that we are now doing and selling approximately $70,000. That's a $150,000 swing, and that's a tremendous asset to the company. And I think that the people at the DPW need to be recognized for their effort, particularly Dave Pullis, who is responsible for that effort, and the people who work there. Many of you over the past year have let me know just how pleasant it is when you go to the recycling center these days, because our employees help you if you need it, keep the place clean and tidy, and I'm sure you noticed that the entire area has been in fact cleaned and is well maintained at all times. They're doing a great job, and I'm very happy to be the recipient, to have Vernon be the recipient of the New Jersey DEP 2012 Recycling Award. It will be presented Thursday night at the, which is, let's see, November the 8th, okay, by a representative from the Sussex County MUA and the New Jersey DEP. So I'm happy to report that to you. We're proud of it, and we'll certainly display that award prominently in the municipal building. In addition, some other items that are on the agenda for Thursday night, and it's pretty brief. There is an application and a resolution to approve fireworks for this year's Christmas tree lighting, and there also is an emergency contract for the Meridian Associates Company. That's the company that, in fact, repaired the electronic locks here on the municipal building that was caused by the lightning strike about a month or so ago. You may recall that I reported that it might run about $50,000 to repair. Actually, the cost ended up being $32,000, significant, but certainly less than we had anticipated. And so that system is now operational, and we're happy about it. It was an unbelievable inconvenience. There also is on the agenda for Thursday night an ordinance which is asking for approval, a first reading, asking for approval from the Town Council to include the Cedar Crest Farm in the municipal historic designation. The Cedar Crest Farm, it would be known to many of you as the farm where Warren Burgess and his daughter Marlene Ford now reside on 515, and we are happy to have entertained their application. The Historic Preservation Commission has done all of its research and paperwork and has now forwarded it up to the council. We will, in fact, have it before the council for action on Thursday night. And that, frankly, is about the substance of Thursday night's meeting. The League of Municipalities convention this year, due to the Sandy, has been canceled for the first time in a very long time. I think I saw somewhere around 100 years or whatever. Maybe it's not that long, but it's kind of unprecedented. The Teachers Convention was canceled, and now the League of Municipality Convention has been canceled. And while I know that some people will sort of smile and say, yeah, well, it's nothing but a big party, here is one of the sequelae problems of that. All of the employees in Vernon Township who attend that convention are permitted to do so and encouraged to do so because they are able to take continuing education units or credits that are required by their particular profession or their particular area of expertise. And so in many cases where our employees would gain those credits as a part of the convention at a very reasonable rate, we're going to have to look at different ways for that to happen as we go out in 2013. We'll deal with it, but I know that there is a perception that the League convention is, one big happy party. And in fact, while there are dinners and receptions there's an awful lot of work that gets done that's very important, work that is required by the state of New Jersey to keep certification, for example, as a tax collector or a tax assessor or a CFO or a purchasing agent. And so we're going to have to deal with that, and I'm sure that the League will help us, as will the Department of Community Affairs in Trenton, but that's one of the fallouts of that situation. Lastly, as it comes to the town business, of course, we had an election on Tuesday. And I will say that I would be disingenuous if I didn't tell you that I'm disappointed for our employees. I fully expected that the ballot question would be defeated. I didn't expect it to be a 9-1 defeat. I have to say, in all the years that I've been involved in public life and politics, my consternation over this whole issue comes from a befuddlement as to why your taxes have gone down, your people are doing a better job, and the total cost of those raises are already in your budget. Those taxes are collected. In essence, it seemed to me to be somewhat punitive to our employees. I can understand people looking at the mayor and saying, 67% is a lot of increase. Whoever got one of those But it's quite clear to me that the full and true message never got out, and that's fine. I will live with the decision of the people. I've said right along that I have faith in you, and I do. I can understand the message loud and clear. And so as we go forward, we will redouble our effort to see to it that you're better informed as to what is happening in Town Hall. It's really not an easy job with the media that we have, but I tried to do that through this program, Vernon Vibes. I would hope that those of you who watch it would recommend to your neighbors to watch it so that you have an opportunity to see, in fact, and hear right from your mayor the business of town. So having said that, we're going to move forward, and we're going to look to the budgeting process for 2013, and I'll talk a little bit about that right after the break.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve. Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we're going to be moving further into the 2013 budget process, and part of that has to do with employee evaluations. We have, in fact, instituted here in Town Hall written face-to-face evaluations of our employees, and are finishing those up, as a matter of fact, as we speak, and that is in preparation for the 2013 budget process. As I've mentioned in previous programs, it is our intent to, in fact, reduce your property taxes for local purposes again, and we'll see whether or not that's possible to do, but nonetheless, that is our objective. I will tell you, as I have said in previous programs, that in fact our department heads have been very, very reasonable in their requests, and they understand the financial pressure that our people are feeling in Vernon Township, and they have acted accordingly. So as we move along in this process, I will hope to be able to share with you decisions that are made. I can tell you that at this point in time, the ancillary costs such as Blue Cross Blue Shield and the pension program and the like are experiencing a small increase. We don't have the exact numbers yet, but we are anticipating it, and we will in fact accommodate it in our budget. Further, at this point in time, for those who don't know, the Vernon MUA has in fact made a definitive decision in regard to the billing for sewer services in the Great Gorge Village, as well as the rest of the sewer system in Vernon. And as the revenue has begun to come in, we in Town Hall and you, the non-sewer using taxpayers, will begin to see that the money invested by Vernon Township will be coming back into Vernon Township, and this year and next we will recoup all of the investment. We have been able to do that and keep the sewer charges reasonable. I know that there are some people who don't think that they're reasonable, and that's understandable. But frankly, ladies and gentlemen, the decisions that were made long before the advent of our MUA and this mayor and this council left Vernon Township with one of two choices. It was to proceed and complete the sewer system and develop our commercial area, which is moving forward, or to leave things as they lie and just simply pay the Sussex County Municipal Utility Authority bonds and commitments from your tax dollars. I did not, in good conscience, think that the people in Vernon Township, all of us, some of whom never ever will have any chance to use that sewer system should have been burdened with that from the very beginning. I took definitive steps to change it, and those things are in place. I know that there are humps and bumps along the way. I know that there are some people who are experiencing or will experience a bit of financial hardship while the sewer project gets off the ground. Your MUA and this mayor talk to each other continually to find ways to ameliorate those problems. And I say this to you, we will do that. The MUA is made up of people who are committed to doing the best job they can for you. So as we look toward the budget year for 2013, it is my hope, it is my goal, and I anticipate being able to fulfill a reduction in your property taxes for municipal purposes, as well as an increase in usage of the sewer system, which will allow the MUA to continue to meet its commitments, pay its bills, and repay Vernon Township in a timely fashion. All of those things are important. We'll talk about a few small things right after this break.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Welcome back. In our last segment this evening, I would like to talk a little bit about some things that are going on. I want to remind you that November the 10th, from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon at the DPW building here on Church Street, the Vernon Township Animal Control Office, with the help of our Dr. Potter from the local Vernon Veterinarian Hospital, will be administering free of charge to dogs and cats rabies shots. As you probably well know, your animal must have rabies shots before you can license it, and licensing renewal is coming up shortly. So take advantage of the free clinic. It's November the 10th from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, at the DPW building in Church Street. It's rain or shine. Bring your dog or your cat. Your dogs must be on leashes. Your cats must be in cages. And Dr. Potter will be administering the shots, again, free of charge. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call the Animal Control Department here at 973-764-7751. In addition, several of our organizations in Vernon, including and led by the McAfee Fire Company Ladies Auxiliary, are collecting clothing, food stuff, food goods, dried goods, non-perishable, toiletries, things that can be used by those of our neighbors who at present are without a home, living in shelters, and may have lost everything. Under the leadership of Erica Reinhardt, the Ladies Auxiliary at McAfee has put together a huge amount of donations from you, the people of Vernon, and let me say thank you on behalf of our neighbors. Our friends in Hopakon really need help, and our own food banks here in Vernon really need help. So if you can find it in your heart, and if you can find it in your wallet, to make a small donation of foodstuffs and toiletries, you can drop it off at the McAfee Firehouse up until Saturday of this week, being November the 10th. And we would certainly appreciate any help that you can give. I want to share a few vignettes with you from the storm. Obviously, I spent a lot of time talking to many of you, and I have mentioned earlier, I felt your pain. For those of you who don't know, the Murata household did not have power either. And my 90-year-old mother-in-law who lives with me, what a trooper she is, but it was a tough time for her. And as fate would have it, on the day that I finally decided I better get a generator and got it hooked up, 2 hours later, my power came back on. So that's how these things go. But during the storm, And afterward, as many of you well know, the gas lines in Vernon, as everywhere else in the state of New Jersey, were absolutely horrendous. And I want to thank the Vernon Police Department. Our officers kept everything in an orderly fashion, saw to it that safe travel was expedited through the areas while people were waiting on lines. And I had many compliments from residents about the manner in which our police conducted themselves. But it's not only the way they handled themselves with the lines, the gas lines in town. I can tell you that I have seen pictures from the evening, the Monday evening of the storm, at the height of the storm, where our police officers doing their duty literally put themselves in harm's way because of their requirement to block roads for the safety of the public and the potential for trees coming down all around them. It indeed was a dangerous situation. And our road department, our DPW department, what a job they did. Less than 36 hours after the storm, every road in Vernon Township was open. The brush was cleared off the roads, the chipping was done, and we began to move through other areas of the township to help our neighbors to, in fact, clear their roads and do some chipping for them. They presently are preparing for the storm that we anticipate this evening, which will include snow. Those gentlemen and ladies have been working virtually nonstop for the past 10 days and for the foreseeable future. I tip my hat to them. I want them to know that on behalf of you, I want to say thank you. Your efforts are not unnoticed and not unappreciated. The people that work in Vernon Township for Vernon Township are committed to doing a good job for you, and I'm proud to lead them. I thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you on the next Vernon Vibes. In the meantime, the best to all. Please stay safe, take precautions. It looks like we're in for some rough weather again, and please be prepared for it. Thanks. Have a good evening.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve. Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.